things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
If there's an agreement here that Senate Republicans are behind, people like Senator John Cornyn, someone who by no means shares the same views on this as President Biden, if they're in agreement on this, is that going to be something that you say no to? Because House Republicans, you know, are the ones, y'all took that trip to the border. You've said it's a crisis. I mean, what's the takeaway for the public if you say no to a bipartisan agreement that even Senate Republicans are behind?
Caitlin, we don't know who's in favor of it because it hasn't been, the text hasn't even been filed yet. There's been no vote in the Senate.
Well, John Cornyn,
you and I were
John
talking about
Thune, they've said that they believe that this is one of the best agreements that you'd be able to get, and that they said that what you said to your conference, that maybe with a Republican president you'd be able to get a better deal. They disagree with that because they say it's not going to get 60 votes in the Senate.
If the best we can get does not solve the problem and not stem the flow, then it will not be acceptable on the House side.
He's so Christ-like. That was on the border. That was the border package. He hadn't even read it yet. And he go, well, nobody knows what's in. And, of course, it was already in the cards that he was going to have it killed. I'm going to have it killed. And he did have it killed. And so then we ended up back where we started from 4 months before they insisted that the border was a crisis and you had to marry the border bill to the foreign aid bill. And now we've broken them apart, and he's going to kill the foreign aid bill because he's saying to you don't have border. You don't have a border bill. What the? I'm telling you right now, I can't keep up with this. The lying is so intense. It is so mind-blowing. It is so head-spinning. It is so unbelievably Republican. I don't know how people can go down this road with these people on national security issues, which the Republicans claim the border is. And we all know that, foreign aid to Ukraine is. Letting Vlad have Europe is not a smart move. It's not a good thing. It's not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit Europe. It's not going to benefit any of the world's great democracies. This isn't going to end well. I mean, it's unbelievable. So today Biden was like, listen, Mike, put it on the floor. I promise you it'll pass. And this is how you know that Mike Johnson is taking his marching orders from a man who isn't president of the United States. He's just some guy who lives in Florida. I mean, really.
Now it moves to the House. And I urge Speaker Johnson to bring it to the floor immediately. Immediately. There's no question that if the Senate bill was put on the floor in the House of Representatives, it would pass. It would pass. And the Speaker knows that. So I call on the Speaker to let the full House speak its mind and not allow a minority of most extreme voices in the House to block this bill even from being voted on. Even from being voted on. This is a critical act for the House to move. It needs to move. The bill provides urgent funding for Ukraine so it can keep defending itself against Putin's vicious, vicious onslaught.
Seriously, dude, what is wrong with you, Mike Johnson? What is wrong with you? I mean, I get that you don't mind when brown people are being slaughtered, but these are white, pasty people in Ukraine. They look like me, okay? They look just like me. I don't even know. He's talking to you, MAGA, like you're a blackout drunk, and you can't remember from day to day what he told you. That's what he's talking to you like. He's talking to you like you're a mental midget, like you're a moron. Like last week he wasn't screaming about the border bill, being necessary for Ukraine aid, and then he kills the border bill and says, I can't pass Ukraine aid because I don't have a border bill. I mean, really, he's talking to you as if you are in some sort of a funk, some sort of a blackout, some sort of you're under the influence of some damn thing. This is how he treats. It's so disrespectful. Honestly, I don't know how you put up with it. I really don't. Honestly. Oh, wait a second. There it is.
Supporting this bill is standing up to Putin. Opposing it is playing into Putin's hands. As I've said before, the stakes in this fight extend far beyond Ukraine. If we don't stop Putin's appetite for power and control in Ukraine, he won't limit himself just to Ukraine. And the cost for America and our allies and partners are going to rise. For Republicans in Congress who think they can oppose funding for Ukraine and not be held accountable, history is watching. History is watching. History is watching. Failure to support Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten.
I don't know. I think he thinks he's Chamberlain. Not him, but Mike Johnson. And I don't mean Wilt. I mean Neville. Do you notice that? You know, Angus King was on the floor last night, and he was saying, listen, for anybody who doesn't understand, like how you stop, like the next World War, look up Sudetenland, okay? Look it up.
Whenever people write to my office, they say, why are we supporting Ukraine? I answer, Google Sudetenland, 1938. We could have stopped a murderous dictator who was bent on geographic expansion at that time. I say we, the West, at a relatively low cost. The result of not doing so was 55 million deaths.
Oh.
That chapter has haunted me because it echoes so strongly in what's happening now in Ukraine.
Seriously, dude, and you know, if you don't know what Sudetenland is, it was kind of a land bridge between Germany and Czechoslovakia, and Hitler wanted it really bad, kind of like Putin wants Donbass, kind of like Putin wants Crimea so he has a port, kind of like Hitler wanted Austria, and then after Austria he wanted a little piece of Czechoslovakia so he would have the freedom of movement to take Czechoslovakia, which he did, and we had an opportunity to stop him right there, dead in his tracks. And you had the appeasers there at the meeting, the Munich Pact, where they said, you know what? Give him the little sliver. Give him the little sliver of the Sudetenland. Nobody cares about it. Nobody will know. It's not a big thing. That will satisfy Adolf. Just, do it. Yeah, that sure worked. And we're here now. It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. Well, give him Crimea. Okay, now give him Donbass. Give him, what could go wrong? You know that Putin is not going to stop at Donbass. You know he's not going to stop at Donbass because he didn't stop at Crimea. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And this little pipsqueak, this backbencher who they made the Speaker of the House, he's going to decide whether or not Putin can take Europe? Really? Who is this man? What is his dealio? And here's the thing. When you see 22 Republicans break with Donald Trump's wet dream of giving Putin everything he wants in the Senate, but you have to run, over a little backbencher in the House who happened to be selected to be Speaker, you understand why he was selected to be Speaker, and you never heard of him. He's like literally the fix is in for Putin through this guy. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.